Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Scholar ChitChat. I'm Joanne.
And of course, dealing with Joanne is goodness. This is Scholar ChitChat podcast. And here we talk about everything about scholarship, study abroad, student opportunities, and all the behind scenes lessons that come with chasing opportunities.
Yeah, exactly. Well, goodness, it's been a while. We had your voice. So welcome. So for today's episode is a little bit different. It's more of a chat between me and Goodness. So we are going to be talking about about application. It's the time of the year again. Most scholarships are open, most universities are open. So we're just going to give a rundown of our own experiences and any small advice we have.
That's true. Of course, this is really going to be exciting because at this moment, this is like last month was October, this is November, December. Applications are opening even till next year, I think. Next year, January, February, we're going to be having applications open, different scholarships. And this podcast, we're going to be talking about how to prepare, lessons learned from our past applications, what we things to look out for, what you can do better to put yourself out there as a potential candidate.
Yeah, I agree with you. So for this first episode, we're going to be talking about what's open right now, what opportunities are open, what can you apply for, what do you still have a chance to apply for. So we'll start with some of the scholarships. So I have the EFL Excellence Scholarship for France, Hungaricum, which just opened also for Hungary, and most universities in US and Canada also open for application, so you can also check that out.
And of course, let's not forget the Swedish application. That's the Swedish government scholarship. I think I applied for that. No, I applied for that last year.
Yeah.
So as really planned. We also have the Chinese government scholarship, which is currently open, and the all-known Erasmus scholarship. Guys, Joanne, what are you about this? What's your take?
It's like the spirit is calling. Yeah, I agree with you, Goodness. As I personally have some that I'm eyeing. Yeah, scholarship I'm checking out also. So I think I started already. That's preparing my application materials and stuff for the Commonwealth Shared Scholarship. Basically open around this time. When we're recording this, it's not actually open now, but hopefully when the scholarship gets out, I think it will be open by then. And then the Global Korean Scholarship is also opening mostly January, February. Yeah. For now, I might also change my mind also.
Yeah, I want to even ask you, are you really keen to us applying to the Global Korean Scholarship?
Yeah.
Okay, because according to news now, there's this part of Korea that is like a no-go area, especially the North Korean.
No, okay, so the Global Korean Scholarship is just for South Korea.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, so that's a good one. I think we need next segment. What do we have on our plates?
You said?
I said we need to go to the next segment. What do we have on our plate? Let's unleash.
Okay, so you're not applying for anything this year, next year?
Okay, for now, for myself, not next year I'm applying. I was supposed to apply this year, but I took a time out to make a little bit of improvement on my application, like what we're going to discuss further on in this in this podcast. Right? Every scholarship has its own application process and what is looking out for. And what I'm really positioning myself to apply for, I need to gather, aside the experience, I also need to gather a little bit of probably a volunteering work experience like that.
It's very important.
Yeah, I'm doing a PGD on community, just to give me little edge, and to also really be deep inside to really know what it means. I said that when I'm trying to write probably my SOP, I will know from what point I'm going to be writing from, basically. So,
yeah, I agree with you.
A period of time.
So I'll just build on what Goodness said. It's okay to just take a step backward or just pause and kind of re-strategize again. Build your profile, get that experience. So I agree with you, Goodness. That's a very good one. I'm happy for you. Yeah, so moving on to the next segment, the why or why not. Okay, so let's tell ourselves this truth. Let's be honest. There are some scholarships that you won't even bother applying for, even when they are open.
That's
Goodness.
yes, that's because myself. For instance, the traveling scholarship, to be honest, I don't even think them trying to go near it because maybe it's not possible. But I just used to feel that man, you need strong CGPA. If not, but over the time we've learned that CGPA is not just everything about you winning a scholarship.
Yeah.
Strong your applications are well written and organized, right? So it might not be that because you have a first class you get a scholarship. So
Yeah.
some few times I've attended the webinar and people with 2-2 they were able to get a scholarship, even the Swedish government scholarship, and even other kinds of scholarships too. I think the Chinese scholarship too. And there was
Yeah.
episodes we did that it was easier to get the scholarship. It's just that people don't really know about it. And
Yeah.
I remember last year you didn't want to try the Swedish government scholarship because of the whole process. Not that maybe you were not, but because of the whole getting your documents signed, stamped.
Nice.
Because I remember when you were making mention of it, that you can't go through all those stress. So yeah, some people might not want to go into applying for such kind of scholarship because of the whole stress and everything. And it's understandable. That's just, and again, if your profile doesn't match, for instance, you're going to apply for a scholarship and you don't have enough experience or enough volunteering experience, or your academic, so it's not really in line. It can't really be linked to what you want to study. Then you might not really apply for such scholarship. And there are some scholarships focus. Some of them focuses on this SDG program. Some of them have different missions.
Yeah, like I agree with you 100% because there are some scholarships you see, they'll be like you have to have leadership experience, you have to have 2 years work experience prior to you applying, and then maybe the experience have to be after university, you get. And also again, if some programs are strictly for this course, like let me say for myself for instance now, if a program is strictly for maybe let's say public policy or communication or anything communication, I already know that it's not for me. And like I'm not even stressed, I'm not going that side. I think it's important for our listeners and our listeners to remember that saying no to one opportunity can actually help you focus better on one that fits you perfectly. So now let's say I have a biochemistry background and I have other courses. Maybe let's say, okay, now let's even go back to STEM. Let's maybe physics, let's say biology. Now, I don't have to stress about physics, giving myself headache, taking paracetamol for headache that is not my own to start applying for physics. I'll just focus on the biology because it's closely related. So it's okay to just not apply for this scholarship. Not because you think you're not good enough for the scholarship, but because you want to focus your strength on another one that fits your profile.
Understand all the things you mention of. Like for instance, too, it's really advisable to before setting out to apply for any kind of scholarship. I think you need to do your due diligence to research scholarship and finding out that okay, this scholarship will probably eligible to apply. Now there's this particular scholarship in France. I can't really recollect the name now. When about some of the information required, it says basically for people in this energy area like engineering, you get. So normal day you didn't do your total findings. You can apply like that. Let's say as a communication student or as a student that studied law or health in the health sciences, needs to get a turn down because that scholarship is not focused on your particular area, it's focused on another area. So that's why I made a statement earlier on that each scholarship have their goal. They know who they are looking for. They know what they want. They know the people that can apply. So in order to just save you all the stress and the time and to also give yourself time enough to prepare well for those scholarships that you're eligible for, best you just like select few scholarship, maybe 4, maybe 3 or 5, and do it thorough application, do your enough find, maybe reach out to people that were past awardees of that particular scholarship, rather than saying, oh, you just want to jump and do 10. Yes, I know there's some scholarship application fee. There's an application fee waiver. So it might fit since there's application fee, just apply like that. Just like just apply. If you just apply, they will just throw you out too like that.
I love that. If you just apply, they'll just throw you out.
Like OJ will always say, scholarship is a full-time job. So that thing is always ringing in my every blessed. I wanted to put in for this year's Swedish scholarship. But I was like, goodness, have you really prepared?
Yeah.
I'm not really prepared, right? And I don't want, they said once beaten, twice shy. I don't want what had happened again. I knew that I need to do some things to also boost my portfolio. And even people that to write your recommendations for you too. They need to know what they're writing really about you. For instance, me myself, I've not really been keeping up with my lecturers for so long. And most of the lecturers I'm even close to, they didn't really teach me throughout, like for a long semester or a long session in school.
Yeah.
I just met with them maybe in just one particular semester in 100 level or in 200 level, and that was all. Those are the lecturers. So those kind of people, they won't really write efficiently enough about your strength and your skills or your academic ability. So one thing instead of me throwing away my application fee again this year because it's not refundable, let me just
It's money.
play back, try and put all my application materials together, who is going to write my recommendation and everything. Then as well, I thought of, okay, instead of just sitting back, since I want to go into communication and my first degree was not in communication, was in English, though it can be linked.
Yeah.
So I just opted in taking a PGD in communication, because even if I say that, I'm practicing in the field, does not mean I put the nitty-gritties of that particular course or that area, right? I might be practicing that, but does not know that, okay, if somebody should ask me some questions in communication or in mass communication, I might not be able to say it or put it the way a mass communication prior student will be able to say it. So I thought of just doing a 1 year, if it's a 1 year program, to have a knowledge of the field in depthly. And that will also help in guiding and structuring your SOP in a way that you write it even using maybe their terms or whatever like that. So that's how it can just be. It can be a tough one though, but you just need to take your and do a strong application. They used to say it is done who first I want to use on our Nigerian balance. No be who first apply, they get the scholarship. So you might have heard of stories that we've even interviewed here, where they applied during their dying minute or the close of the application, and they got the scholarship. So it's because as soon as the scholarship comes out, now you first apply, now you go first get them. No, it doesn't work that way. It talks about your strength of your application and what you've built over time. Yeah.
So I'll just add on what Goodness said. Sometimes I think it's better you apply early because there are some scholarships and applications that they select on a rolling basis. So it's first come, first serve. So it's just understand the scholarship and understand how the process is. Yeah. Also, I just want to add that it's better to focus on 2 or more scholarship that you are a good fit for than to rush through 10 and like goodness, if you just apply, they will just reject you. Yeah. So let's reflect for a moment. Let's look back. Okay. Let's talk about the lessons we have learned from past applications. So what's one major lesson that you have learned from the last application you did?
Number one is applies to all scholarship, but there is word count when it comes to writing SOP, and trust me, it could be stressing enough, like stressful rather, because I had challenges when I wanted to write my SOP. Oh my god, at a point I had a whole lot to write, and at a point I needed to reduce it. So, and your message needs to be complete. You know, when you overwrite, right? Use it to a particular number that it's been requested, there are some details that you need to eliminate, and for it to still look perfect, you still need to communicate that message you want to give within that specific number of words. So it's just for me, I had to, I don't know how I manage it. It's actually manipulated, let me use that word. Then one other thing is recommendation letter. There are different types of recommendation letter. There are ones you get from your school, there are ones you get from your workplace, or even your volunteering experience that talks about the leadership skills and everything. So I feel one of the things you should look out for is the content of what is written. Like somebody that does not know you cannot write well about you, take it or leave it. No matter that write all the things you want me to say. Somebody who doesn't know you can't write. There is a tone in which the person will use to write a particular message about you, pass a message about you, than you're feeding the person information, because a lot of people might do it, feed the person information. This is what I've done. This is what I've done. It's different from the person knowing you exactly. Okay, yes, this person has done this. There's a way the person will. I don't know, but the choice of words will also tell. I think that one will also tell in terms of when the person is writing and the person knows that, oh, you've done this, I've seen you, rather than you telling the person, feeding the person information. So that's another one there. Then one other thing that gave me, CV writing didn't really give me so much stress because there were so many templates. You just look through and look at the one that might suit your application. The only basic ones was the SOP and the reference. And then there's this one that have to do with you collecting recommendation letter, I think. Because when I was applying to the Swedish scholarship, aside the reference letter, you had to get other letters from different places, like to show your leadership skills. Now you have to get letter there, where you work, to show that, okay, we're able to be, let's say, a team leader or so like that. Then there are so many letters you just had to collate together to apply. So those were the that in my self-experience, particularly the SOP. I mean, if you can that a scholarship is, let's say, halfway done.
Okay, sorry, I'm going to digress a little bit before I talk about the lessons I learned. I just want to add that the scholarship opportunities we mentioned earlier that are currently open. Good news, we have an episode on all of the scholarship. So if you are listening and you're like confused where to start, there's an episode for everybody. Just go through Scholar ChitChat on our LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter. You see it there. You get a link to listen to that episode to help you. Okay, so now let me come back. For me, the lessons I've learned, I'll say clarity. Okay, knowing my story, my why, and how each scholarship fits into my bigger journey. Okay, so I have a particular research interest I'm gunning for. There was a time I actually had to digress a bit. Okay, this is what I want, but since this scholarship doesn't have what I want, but it has something I can do, I'll apply for that. So now for me, it's not just about that. This is what I want. This is how it fits in the longer run. It's not something I just want to do and stop. It's something I want to go deeper into. So I would say clarity, knowing my story, my why, and how each scholarship fits into my bigger picture, my bigger journey. I've also learned to not wait until the last minute to prepare my essay. Now, for some of these scholarships, I was writing my essay while the scholarships were open. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. Yeah. I'll wait till when the scholarship is open before I start writing my essay. But I've learned to start early, write the essays, give to people to help me review before the application starts. So now I write the essay, send it to people who have gotten the scholarship to help me review. Also, one very important thing I've learned to send to the guests we have had on Scholar ChitChat. Very important, because these guests have come on this podcast, they have shared their stories, their experiences. So they are one of the best people that can actually help. So now this is me advising our listeners to do the same. If you see an opportunity you want, you can just go on our LinkedIn. I think LinkedIn is even more reliable. Go on our LinkedIn for the guests we have had on this particular scholarship. Yeah. Let me add that we also tag all these guests. When this episode are going out, we tag them. So that makes it very easy for you to reach out to them. You just go on the episode you want, just check the information, you see the guest LinkedIn handle there, you reach out to them. It's a very simple example. You can just tell them that, okay, you listen to this episode that they did with Scholar ChitChat and you felt motivated to apply and you would like them to review your essay. And I learned this from Oje. She said, don't be shy or don't be scared to reach out to people. The highest they can tell you is no. Two things, it's either no or yes. If they tell you yes, good for you. If they tell you no, move on to the next person. So try to reach out to people. That's what I've been doing lately. Yeah, so that's the lessons I've learned.
That's a very good one. I even picked from it, and that's true. Yeah. You can actually receive. Is that a yes or no from whoever you need to ask? Yeah. Now, talking about the SOP, we've done a particular episode on how to write strong.
I'll never forget that episode.
What do you say?
I said I'll never forget that episode.
So it's there. You can really check back on our podcast and previous ones to get this particular one and listen to it. Like, take your Bible and your book, jot and write. There's something they usually say that the faintest pen is sharper than the sharpest brain. So that just because at times you might just feel okay just listening to it. That's no. Ensure that you jot some things down. It also makes you to retain what your takeaway or your takeout from that particular thing you are listening to, or from that particular episode. And also maybe we'll help. We'll do the needful by adding the link to this episode to just make it easy for you to navigate at the practical steps. What do differently this year that is about running out, coming and running into the following year, because we're still going to be having splashes of applications that will be open till January. So how can one improve his or her applications?
For me, like I said earlier, this time I'm starting earlier, I'm visiting my statement of purpose, and I'm taking feedback seriously. Like, reach out to people and just like hear what they have to say about my essay and how I can improve. I've sent my essays to most of the guests we've had, and so that's one for me. And then also very important, like you said, building my profile. I am taking a lot of courses that will help me understand what now. If you know what you're applying for, if you have a knowledge of what you're applying for, it makes your essay easy to write. So I'm taking courses, I'm doing internship, just seeking internship opportunities that will help me just build my profile. Let's just say I'm being more intentional this year. Yes, I'm just focusing on building myself in every way necessary.
The intentional woman.
Yes, so
basically it's just also add to my portfolio to take some courses like Joanna said. I'm also taking a course too, because when I did some findings as well, they were like, oh, you need to do, let's say, a 1-year course or any other thing for academics to show that we've done something related to communication, because I'm basically passionate about communication. So most of my stories will always be tied around communication. And aside that, my CV, of course, as well, is not dormant. So I'm trying to update it, because if I'm applying for another scholarship, I can't be using my past work experience that is in, let's say, 2020 or 2022 in 2025 or 2026 application. There will be like a raise towards that. So you also need to look at that. Also, your SOP too. Find, aside even the resources we are going to provide, you can also check online to get other ideas on how to write SOP, just to add it to it. Like SOP, I don't think SOP should be that rigid. There's not one of writing SOP. So SOP is based on one's personal experience and what you want to do. So there's nothing like an exact format that, oh, this is how you should start it, good morning style. No. That SOP is dynamic and it fits personality. So I'm also like some documents regarding SOP, how to write SOP, and we have a whole lot of them online. Even scholars from other that won other scholarship, they use their platform to paste probably their SOP, stuff like that. You can also read from them, just have another experience or another view of how SOP is being written. So those are the things I'm just basically trying to work in place, upskilling, adding to my work experience. Then I'm now being intentional in connecting with more people that can write a very strong reference for me, because it's very important. I can't just go and say I want to walk up to one lecturer that taught me before that we never had any relationship. When I mean relationship, like this student's relationship with him, what does he want to write about me? He can't. So I'm now more intentional. Even while I'm currently doing a course on communication, I'm trying to also build a relationship with the lecturers. Obviously, they'll be useful when the time comes.
Yeah, I agree with you. Also, I think one thing people don't pay attention to always is also having like a spreadsheet. I think we have a sample. Yeah, on Scholar ChitChat we have a sample. So maybe we'll just share that online. like have like a spreadsheet. Okay, this is the scholarship I want to apply for. This is the application open date. This is the deadline. This is the requirement. This is what I need. Just like to help you like have like the organized, so you're not just be applying scatteredly without maybe like understanding the application. So I'll suggest having a spreadsheet, and hopefully we'll share out. And also I'm also documenting my journey and experiences, and maybe one day, maybe just maybe, hopefully I'll get to share and then share my draft and reflections to help others too.
Learn from it.
Well,
now let me talk about rejection. I know that
very important.
It's when it comes to rejection. I'm not saying it to taunt you or anything. It's just right? Because you can even be the one to speak best on it than myself. So still able to accept that. But there was one encouragement I got from it, that really from my line that I had in my first degree, I can still navigate into the sector I'm high or I'm trying to break through, right? So that was when I applied, because I've always been having this mindset that will it go, will it work? It's not in line. It's not related to like, it's not mass communication, that kind of stuff. It might be very difficult and everything. Fine, in Nigeria, anything works. Even if you study Yoruba, you can work in the bank. You can work
anywhere.
Outside the country, it doesn't work that way. They have a working system there. So, and they're always very cautious. Somebody that says Yoruba, you can't say you want to go and work in the healthcare sector and say you want to go and be it's not possible. You have to still take some courses. Even if you want to work in the healthcare sector, you still have to take some courses. But when I applied, it's the fact that it was still considered gave me that positive mindset that, this thing can really work out. So if you get rejection doesn't really mean that you're not fit enough for you to get that scholarship. It could mean that you need to rework on your scholarship applications. You need to rework on your SOP, your CV. And as well, Joanne mentioned that you need to also apply in time. Yes, there's some scholarship application that you need to apply on time. Yes. If you apply 9 minutes, if you can still get the scholarship, right? So, but you also take consideration too. And also following the rules to the details. Because there's one thing applying strongly. There's another thing not following the rule. There are some applications that we need that for you to do. There's something they call verification now?
There's authentication, there's legalization.
That you need to do that. If you don't do that, I think it's going to even your applications might not really be considered. So if you feel that you've submitted and they've requested as part of the rules or the guidelines that you need to validate and legalize your documents, that's one thing. So you need to really know about the scholarship. And that's why I said that rejection is not that you are not fit. It could be there was something you missed out. It could be in the guide, it could be in your application. Like now for the Swedish scholarship now, they requested for traditional stamp. Now, if you don't do that, automatically your application is already wrong. So you might get rejected. So it's not like you were not fit. It's just for you to find where you did your mistake and correct it so that next time you'll be able to do well. There's this man, is it Thomas Edison? When he wanted to make the bulb, he got his response, like his test he carried out, failed more than 98 times or 99 times. And he never gave up. And what he said was those methods or those methods that he did that failed. Not that maybe failed, but it gave him another knowledge of and another new idea of doing things in another way. So the rejection is not for you, it's not to limit you, but to give you an eye opening on how can you re-strategize your application to also eat the juicy bag. That's just
let me just add to what you said. Okay, so let me give an example with 2 different scholarships. Like for CSC, that's Chinese, this Chinese scholarship. You have to fill like a physical examination form. You go to the hospital, and then the doctor or the hospital will be the one to fill that for you. You run all the tests and stuff. Now, it said on the application, it said the stamp, the hospital stamp must be on your passport, because your passport has to be on Now you can actually have everything complete, but then
Yeah.
maybe the hospital mistakenly stamped first before adding your passport. That's
Mhm.
automatic disqualification for you. Yeah, and then for the Global Korean Scholarship also. Now for this one, you're not submitting online. You're either submitting to the embassy or submitting to university directly. Now there's a way they told you to arrange your documents. If you don't arrange it like that, even if you have first class, everything is perfect, automatic rejection for you. So, like Goodness said, read the requirements, read what the scholarship wants. Different scholarships. Some will just tell you to just submit online. Some will tell you to submit your reference yourself. Some will tell you to give your reference email, and then your referee will send
The
the
reference.
reference. Yeah, themselves. So just read. Don't get tired of reading. Yeah.
And yes, give full time attention to your application. Yeah, when you are try not to be distracted, because you can be distracted and do a mistake. Maybe you upload the wrong document in the wrong session. Do one thing at a time. They say jack of all trade, right? Yes, applying, you're eating, you're doing something else, listening to music. Like I said, application is a very crucial step. So give it the full attention it needs. Am I right?
Yeah.
Okay. I think we are going to draw a cut into today's podcast. So we will not make it that long for our listeners.
Yeah.
As from this, I'm sure that we'll be able to pick one or two on this podcast, which will also help them and even shape their next application. And that's all for today's episode. I don't know if Joanne has something to say.
Okay, yeah, so let me just if you are listening and then you are thinking of applying this season, don't panic. Just take a deep breath. You've got this, you can do this. Make sure you create a checklist, stay consistent, don't be afraid to ask for help. Most importantly, don't compare your timeline to someone else. Everyone's path is different. Don't say, okay, I started before this person, but this person has gotten, you'll be discouraged. Everyone's timeline is very different. If you get rejection, see them as redirection. Maybe this is not the one God wants for me. Maybe just see it as redirection.
Yes,
And each one prepares you. Yeah, each one prepares you for the next big win. Whether you win or not, every application you submit helps you grow. Because when I go back to see the SOPs I've written before, and then I see the ones I'm writing now, I know that I can see growth. Very obvious. Yeah.
Yes, when you made mention of every rejection is a redirection, and I was like, yeah, every rejection is a redirection to it. And also should be so devastated about the result or the outcome of it, or whatever results yield. It's just for you to do better, organize better, and again, don't be scared of reaching out to people, right? So
very important.
Applying for a particular scholarship for probably the past 2 or 3 years. Why can't you search for people that have won the scholarship? Send them your previous application, let them review. They could be able to detect or tell you, oh, this was what you should have done for you to have get a good chance. Don't be scared. Either a yes or a no response. That's just it. They can't, nothing more they can do.
Nothing.
And yeah, I would say that don't forget to follow us, subscribe, and listen to our previous episode. Really, see, let me tell you something. Don't tell anybody. If you really want to get that scholarship, give our page, Scholar ChitChat, a follow-up, subscribe to our channel, listen to all our previous episodes on scholarship and SOPs, and even our interviews, our workshop, and try to get scholarship tips, yes stories there, and even honest conversations from our great scholars. And trust me, your next application will be a banger. Just take it that. We have Joanna, have OJ. I mean, we don't even want to miss all the things we've been feeding people online. Ensure you subscribe so that you'll be able to get the notification on time when a new episode drops. You don't want to miss it, because they are very, very words of life. Let me use it. They are live. The words there. All the conversations here are live to you getting a scholarship. Time.
Keep chasing those opportunities. Your study abroad dreams are valid. I would love to hear what you're applying for this season, so you can just comment on this post, send us a DM. We just want to know what you're applying for. Yeah. So keep chasing those opportunities. Your study abroad dreams are valid. They are valid like mine. Thank you for listening.
Yes, and bye-bye.